Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are tackling a question that has puzzled fans of the Three Kingdoms for centuries. How did Lu Bu, the undisputed, strongest warrior of his era, end up as one of its biggest losers? The man was a walking natural disaster on the battlefield. With his legendary horse, red hair, and his crescent moon halberd, he was virtually invincible in single combat. Generals would tremble at the mere mention of his name. So, if you can win any duel, why do you lose the war? The answer, as we'll explore, has very little to do with fighting ability and everything to do with the art of leadership and strategy. Lu Bu's story is a classic case study of how individual prowess, no matter how immense, simply isn't enough to build something that lasts. It's a tale of ambition without vision, strength without substance. Let's dive into the fatal flaws that doomed the God of War. First and foremost, let's talk about the most glaring issue: Lu Bu's massive trust deficit. Think about it. His career is a highlight reel of betrayal. He started under Ding Yuan, his adoptive father, whom he killed to join the tyrant Dong Zhuo. Then he became Dong Zhuo's adoptive son, only to, you guessed it, kill him too. This pattern of turning on his benefactors for personal gain earned him a reputation that was impossible to shake. In an era where loyalty, reputation, and alliances were the currency of power, Lu Bu was bankrupt. Who would want to work with a man who might stab you in the back, literally, the moment a better offer came along? Potential allies saw him as a dangerous, unpredictable weapon, not a partner. They might use him for a short-term goal, but they would never truly invest in him or trust him with their future. This lack of trust isolated him, making it impossible to form the stable, long-term coalitions necessary to hold and govern territory. He was a solo artist in an era that demanded a full orchestra. The second major problem was his complete lack of a stable base of operations, both financially and geographically. Let's compare him to his rivals. Cao Cao was methodically securing Yan province, implementing the Tuntian system, state-sponsored agriculture, to create a self-sustaining food and tax base. Yuan Shao controlled the wealthy and populous northern provinces. Liu Bei, even in his early wandering days, was always focused on securing a piece of land to call his own. What was Lu Bu's strategy? He drifted. He took Suzhou from Liu Bei through trickery, not conquest. He never implemented any long-term economic policies. He didn't build infrastructure or invest in agriculture. His entire operation ran on plunder and short-term seizure of assets. It was the mindset of a warlord, not a ruler. An army marches on its stomach, and a kingdom is built on a thriving economy. Without a reliable source of grain, taxes, and resources, his forces were always just one bad harvest or one lost battle away from complete collapse. He was constantly living hand-to-mouth, unable to plan for the future because he was always struggling to survive the present. This leads us to our third point: the fragile and opportunistic nature of his own coalition. The people who followed Lu Bu weren't loyal retainers bound by a shared vision. They were, for the most part, opportunists and mercenaries just like him. His key advisors, like Chen Gong, were brilliant, but even Chen Gong joined him out of disillusionment with Cao Cao, not out of a deep-seated loyalty to Lu Bu's cause, because Lu Bu didn't have one. His command structure was a house of cards. His generals, like Gao Shun, were exceptionally loyal and capable, but they were the exception. Many others, like Hu Cheng, Song Xian, and Wei Shu, were watching out for themselves. And what happened at the final siege of Xiapi? When the situation looked dire, they did exactly what Lu Bu had taught them through his own example. They betrayed him to save themselves. They stole his horse, red hair, and opened the gates to Cao Cao's army. It was poetic in a tragic way. The culture of disloyalty he fostered was the very thing that sealed his fate. He had created an organization that was a mirror of himself, and it shattered at the first sign of real pressure. So, let's put it all together. Lu Bu was a tactical genius, but a strategic failure. He saw the world as a series of duels to be won, not as a complex web of politics, economics, and human relationships to be navigated. He had the strength to take a city, but not the wisdom to hold it. He could defeat any general in a one-on-one fight, but he couldn't build an army that would fight for him when he wasn't looking. His rivals, like Cao Cao, understood this. Cao Cao wasn't the best fighter, but he was a master of organization. He recruited talented people from all backgrounds, he built a sustainable economic engine, and he established a clear chain of command built on a system of rewards and laws, not just personal charisma. In the end, the organized, well-supplied, and politically savvy machine of Cao Cao inevitably crushed the one-man show of Lu Bu. The story of Lu Bu is more than just a historical account, it's a timeless lesson. It teaches us that in any large-scale endeavor, be it business, politics, or warfare, the strength of the organization will always triumph over the strength of a single individual. Trust, vision, and a sustainable foundation are the pillars of success. Lu Bu had none of these. He was the strongest warrior, but that's all he was. And in the grand, bloody game of the three kingdoms, being the strongest just wasn't enough. What do you think? Could Lu Bu have succeeded if he had changed his ways? Or was he doomed from the start? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I love reading your insights on this fascinating period of history. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more historical analysis, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. It really helps us grow and bring you more content like this. We'll see you in the next video.